Boy, oh boy. Here we are. Yes. Hello. Welcome to a Sober James Addiction Recovery live stream podcast on YouTube, February 27th of 2025. My name is James and I am a recovered alcoholic. I think it's recovered now. Today we're going to talk about miracles, leaps of faith, supernatural things happening in addiction recovery and sobriety from alcohol and other deadly drugs. Kim Sweezy. Hi, Kim. How are you? Oh. There you have it. Hello, Kim, and hello, Jack Nicholson. And not everybody's going to support your recovery and sobriety, but not everybody matters, is what Jack Nicholson would say, I suppose. That would just happen because you got here, Kim. I didn't do that on purpose. Raphael, hello. I apologize for the staggered start to the live streams. I have been baffled by the good things happening in my life. I have been baffled. It's almost supernatural. I'd like to talk about it with fellow addicts and alcoholics in recovery. You all, hello. And Kim, have we, welcome to the channel if I haven't seen you, and welcome back if you've been watching or listening. I understand a lot of you listen, that's cool too, Well, good. Welcome, Kim. I usually have it more together, you know what I mean? Amanda S., welcome to you as well. I am happy to see you ladies in the building. You too, Raphael. This is part of what I want to talk about tonight. In sobriety, there are things that begin to happen. I'm so glad I'm growing again. I'm so glad I'm growing again. Why? So I thought of a t-shirt that said something like, we alcoholics grow slowly or something. It was hilarious. It wasn't lame like I just said, but when we drink and use over our emotions all through teenage years and early 20s and stuff, we neglect ourselves of growing emotionally and intellectually and all around the spectrums of being a human being. We don't grow. So now in sobriety, you have to learn through pain and awkward suffering, navigating social landscapes and without booze, and it's painful or awkward, or sometimes it's just incredibly exciting and joyful. Oh my goodness, I'm just so excited. I'm officially on a pink cloud again, and I could barely even get my bimbers together. Devon on the trail, it's so good to see you. Devon on the trail is a fellow person in recovery like the rest of us. I have a weird black eye. I don't even know how I got it. I don't even know what happened. I've been in a tornado of pink clouds. I ate some spicy food tonight. I kissed a person. I kissed a person tonight. Another person. Do you ever kiss a person? I mean, you ever get kissed by a person? After not being, after not kissing a person for a long time. So that was supernatural. I got some kiss action. That's supernatural to me. You know what I mean? Didn't expect it. I'm just trying to recover here. For those of you who don't know, I'm a little over a year sober and clean from deadly drugs like alcohol and benzodiazepines, pain pills, and Percocets, and anything and everything. But mostly alcohol. Stevie J says you can't take the elevator in AA. The elevator's always been broken. That's why we got to take the stairs. It might be slower to take the stairs, but we all have to work the steps. Stevie J. Oh, wait, where you going, Miss Ford? Come on. What's poppin'? Okay, what's up, Raphael? What's up, Miss Ford? Mind's Eye. Where you what good night, everyone, and good night. What do you mean, Miss Ford? What'd I miss? Miss Ford's leaving? What's going on? What did I do? Did I do something to Miss Ford again? Uh any case, let me get back on topic. Who did no. I want to know who did what to Miss Ford. So not just that. It's been a general heightening, and I feel manic almost. Now, here's another thing I want to talk about: how the line of well-being uh, evens out. This isn't my first rodeo when it comes to abstaining from my addictions. So as the time goes on, you start to even out. But don't ask me how. But when the disease of alcoholism like creeps back into your head over some time, you start going back to peaks and valleys. So I feel like I'm at a real high peak at this point. Um, Good stuff's been happening. I've had opportunities with job opportunities, and I'm working at. I just got another job. I basically have been working as a rural mail carrier, and I had to apply as a city carrier because the rural mail carriers union sucks. So I just got the job as a city carrier, and so that's been going on. What's more is um, a, a I guess you could call it a sexual energy. So in recovery, I haven't had a sexual energy. I've lost a lot of parts of myself through relapse and addiction in the past, and one of them is your sexual vitality and like your identity as a being of sexual presence, I guess, would be the words. And then out of nowhere, after about 15 months of sobriety, all of a sudden it appears again. And there is another. One of the weird things that also happened. Oh, great. Now I can't get over it. Now I can't get over it. All right, I gotta let it go. Let me read what. No sex drive on the opiates, Raphael says. Let me read what I must have missed a lot of this. Hello, Kim, Amanda S, Raphael, Stevie J, Tivana. Tivana's still at work. Stevie J. You can't take the elevator in AA. We got to take the stairs. We got to work the steps. Mindside, hell, and see, now I can't get over it. My best friend Holly, where'd she go? What pissed her off? It better not be. Oh. Can you believe okay, so I happen to be a klutz when it comes to saying stupid shit. And then I make a YouTube channel. It's 6 years running now. I go live and I say stupid shit on the air and record it for history. Whose brilliant idea was this? Whose brilliant idea was this? You know what I mean? Now we can't party if Holly's not here. So now I got to somehow navigate this and figure out this part of life now. How to carry on with the stream and how to let things go when you don't have an answer. I don't have the power to have the answer. I'm not, you know what I mean? So we're just going to move on. What I am talking about here is a fulfillment of a restoration of faith. When I didn't even, faith was new to me. Faith is new to me. To this alcoholic, and I'd venture a guess to a lot of alcoholics who like control, and basically for some reason or another, we grew up thinking we're basically in charge of our own destiny and everybody else's destiny and everything else around us as well. So when we give that control over to God, we experience a spiritual awakening, and then stuff starts to grow. But when you're desperate enough to begin the journey, you have to make a leap of faith. And the faith is, I have been trying to solve my problems my entire life. To just let it go and give it to God if I have no control over it. This is the teachings of AA, by the way. Hand your life and your will over to the care of God as you understand it. Or when you're worried about something, just give it to God. Put it in the God box. Do what you got to do to get it off your chest. And an agnostic like myself, or an alcoholic like myself, or whatever, wanted to... I don't understand the concept of giving it to God. But I have to try because I keep on getting drunk over the course of years and stuff. Recovery, relapse, sobriety, drunkenness, back and forth. So why is that? Well, this time I came back and I said, I need the God thing. I need to know how to give stuff to God. I need to know how to have faith. And what it came down to was a leap of faith. Even though I didn't believe all my troubles would be cured if I hand my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand them, and stop trying to meddle in life on life's terms, and I just give it up to God, that's a leap of faith for this guy. But then it goes and gets restored. The promises come true. There's promises in the program of AA, and they come true after that leap of faith, which is scary because you have to let go of a lot of things. You have to let go of control and ego, and you have to let go of maybe I can fix it, and what if I think about it for 48 to 96 hours? What if I just think about it round and round in my head? Maybe that'll solve it. So it is kind of difficult, but you make that leap of faith, and then comes the promises. And what's happening again for me right now is the promises, or as I like to refer to it in a nutshell, the pink cloud. Everything is Peachyville. The promises. I will know serenity and I will know peace. I will know how to handle situations that used to baffle me. Stuff like that. And when the promises start coming true, I mean, peace and serenity and an absence of fear and love and hope. Then you start giving it over to God even more, because now my faith that was a leap of faith, a desperate leap of faith, was restored. I was paid for my faith, for that leap of faith. Jody English, alcohol was your drug of choice. I went to hospital for 9 days to detox. I barely slept in 2 weeks since I've been out of the hospital. Well, welcome back to this side of the grass, Jody. Welcome back. You went to the hospital, so it's in the your detox is over. Barely slept in 2 weeks since I've been out of the hospital. Have you gotten to an AA meeting, Jody? Just curious. You don't have to answer. I'm just curious. 9-step promises, Tivana says, are an ideal I believe in. Have a tiny taste, but not quite there yet. Yeah, I can tell by the way you're talking, you've been tasting the promises. Now, some people might be like, yeah, you're getting sober for the promises? Man, that's so whack. Hey, I'm an alcoholic. I live in the reward center of my brain. If I'm going to get sober, I want the rewards. And the promises are the rewards. And you have to cross a canyon of faith, a darkness that you don't know, and all of that. Even if you don't pray, you'll be praying and you don't even know who you're praying to. These are leaps of faith. And you trust that if you do the next right thing, the next right thing will happen. And you're like, hey, what's up? NASA is God. NSA is God. Oh my God. Oh, OMG. Oh my G. Hi. What's up? NASA is God. Too exhausted to go anywhere, Jody. Yeah, I understand. Well, you made it here, didn't you? Hey, Jody, good on you. And you're not drinking. I take it. You're still detoxed from alcohol and you don't have to face those DT withdrawal possibilities. Yeah, lack of sleep is dangerous. You'll sleep soon. I take it you're still not drinking, and I'm happy for you, Jody, that you detoxed. Detox is, well, good for you, not drinking. Good for you, Jody. And, you can't make a meeting, but you're talking to at least another alcoholic, me. And I know Mind Size is sick drunk. So that's 2. I'm just kidding. I don't know that about Mind Size. What's up, Mike? Nighttime by Care. One will knock you out better than NyQuil for half the price. A word? What's up, Mike Tucker? Yeah, the stream got off to a little choppy start because I've been spun around and spanked on the ass and by the promises of sobriety. Finally, I'm back in pink cloud 9 territory, aka happy. Now, if those of you who have trudged this road of recovery with me or without me or at different times in your life know that you might have experienced the same things I'm experiencing. There were some low lows this past year and there was some high highs, not very many highs. There was a lot of lows. I faced a lot of shit since my last drink, November 30th of 2023. Since November 30th of 2023, I've faced a lot of shit, and some of it had me really, really, really low. However, through acts of faith and just putting one foot in front of the other and doing the next right thing and meditating and trying to encompass the principles and the way of life that is AA, and basically just, you could call it Christian, you could call it the right way of life, doing the right thing. I wonder if this is going to be is someone calling on the phone? I wonder, is he calling on the phone? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to turn this phone on. Turn this bing, boom, boom, boom. Okay, whoever that was can call back. Whoever that was can call back. You can call back and call me. Call me anytime. Skiddy-diddy-die. Jody, yeah. Hang around here, talk to other alcoholics. That's one little baby step you can do in your recovery. Talk to another recovering alcoholic every day. A woman, or if you come on here, it's co-ed. We have no way of harming each other sexually, so it's less dangerous than, say, getting a opposite sex sponsor. Many AAs have learned that over the past 100 years that sponsor relationships cannot be in danger of becoming romantic, or else the house of cards will crash and both parties may relapse. Because emotions, man. You can't have motion in the ocean without emotions, man. Oh yeah, so that's the thing, Mindside. That's one of the supernatural things that happened to me. You know what I mean? Those of you who have been at rock bottoms, oh, here we go. I got somebody on the line. Let's see who it is.
Call from
Natalie.
to accept, press 1.
Hi, you're on the Sober James podcast.
Excellent. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. It is Natalie from Minnesota. I met you on your live stream. I hadn't called though, and then it was during COVID, I believe. Or it's been like 5 years already. Wow.
Okay, I must admit I can barely hear you. Can you guys understand what she's saying?
Okay, I'll turn the volume up. Is that better?
Oh, that's perfect. I can hear it.
Oh, great. I don't want to shout though. I've been accused of that.
Okay, no, I won't accuse you of anything except being so sweet to call in. Hey, who am I talking to?
Natalie from Minnesota.
Natalie
so my name.
Minnesota. How are you doing, Natalie from Minnesota?
Pretty good, especially since I saw you. So I kind of brightened up because I was always trying to catch your live podcast, and then for some reason I kept missing you. I got the notifications late.
Okay, yeah. Well, welcome. It's good to have you live, and I'm so happy to hear you call in too, because for the past couple lives nobody's called in. So welcome.
Thank you.
What you up to tonight?
Basically just relaxing now. So I was at the library. I have some legal complications and other things in my life. But other than that, I am so glad that I am sober now. And I do not miss it at all. So I'm so happy that you quit drinking. And I'm telling you, yeah, it's definitely a struggle in the beginning as far as like the biochemistry is starting to, needs to be like, equilibrium needs to be reset. Basically. Yeah. So, but, and part of it is the credibility. So, a lot of these people who kind of dismissed me or just discredited me, I have to admit there was, I was drinking, but that was like in my private life. So I didn't see where it spilled over, but, people would use that. If possible, is, oh, well, she's a drinker, whatever, dismiss my concerns. And
Right.
Then now it's kind of like, it's not that, it's still the things that these little legal battles I'm struggling with, but are pretty intense. But at the same time, I have something positive that I can cling on to, so to speak, or that I've established, I should say. But I think emotionally, though, I am clinging on to that to be like, they didn't even know me then, and they were judgmental. And now they're going to find out how, how intelligent I am. And they're not going to be able to say, oh, well, she has these qualities and skills, but, she's a drunk, because they messed up and they don't want to admit it. So,
Well,
so I'm sorry, go on.
My sponsor would tell me what people think is none of my business.
Right. I know. That's a good one. I like that.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, but I know they're thinking this.
That is a great one. I'm so glad that you said that. So mine comes across a little bit more abrasive, and yours is yeah, that's great. I like that one.
And then I'll tell him something like, yeah, but if they're thinking about me, that's my business. I'll say something like
Oh
that.
gosh.
But he'll have an answer for that too. And it's a very simple answer that will basically take care of my problem with a very simple concept that I just don't want to do.
That's just well. What is his last suggestion that you didn't want to do?
um, Shamefully enough, I haven't called my sponsor in weeks. I see him at meetings and stuff, but sometimes I get the feeling he doesn't want to call me. What was the last thing he said? And maybe that was the reason I'm not been calling him.
Right. Well, I was on TikTok live. I've been doing TikTok too, just to kind of self-reflect, and or maybe in the absence of anyone else to talk to about the stuff, I'll make some sarcastic couple of lines, and then I'll go around taking pictures, on a beautiful day, and then I'll post those up there. And so I got a few views on that, so that is kind of helping with the self-reflection when in the absence of having someone to talk to. But there's this, he's called like anti-narc or something like that.
Narcon?
But he is like, narcissist or something. He's brutal. He's he's really intelligent, but he's brutal. And it's like, if you interrupt him, he'll get you like, I'm going to cut you off now, and you're just like, wow. Cause I only called one time, or no, twice. And I was lucky to make it. I was lucky to make it off his live without him, because he's like about 5 steps ahead of me as far as I'm trying to deal with these people that are very difficult. And he's like reflecting, because I'm asking him about their narcissistic behavior, and he's kind of reflecting on me and my perception of the world. And I'm clearly trying to make the not the argument, like I'm not trying to argue with them, but I'm trying to make the point that like clearly these people's behavior is way out of line.
Yeah.
So, but he still manages to break it down to how I'm dealing with my perception of the situation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the same. They say the same about making amends too. I am always about to tell what their part was in it in the first place, but that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to make amends for my side of the street. So like they may be very well be wrong, but I won't get the full spiritual benefits out of it unless I just leave them out of it and make amends for my own side of the street. So I can't go saying, yeah, but he really had it coming or something like that,
Yeah, I don't see you quite saying that. But he's really good with the one-liners, just like that one. Like they really had it coming or whatever. He's really good at anticipating, and even if you clearly are like, I did not say that, he'll group it. So yeah, like I said, I mean, maybe I might venture to call that that live stream again. But I mean, I really had a pressing question. So, and he like put it this way, like I'm hoping that the hackers or whatever were monitoring my live with him so that maybe they'd find somebody else to take on. So, because I don't like getting bullied.
No, nobody does. Who does? That's not right. Being bullied.
Right. And it's still so prevalent. And it's like I'm 52 years old. I'm gonna almost be a senior citizen. It's around the corner, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm like,
the new 30.
Yeah. They say people get worse when they get older, and now I believe them. So they get so rigid, maybe.
Oh, I mean, come on, get out of here. You know, I mean, who wouldn't? You know, because I'm getting old. You know, I'm 44. I'm in my 40s, and my back and my neck hurts, and like, what else is going on? You know, am getting worse. You know what I mean? Worse. What do they mean worse? I don't know. I'm
Oh, by like rigid mentality, like stuck in
set
their ways.
set in the ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Oh
been.
my gosh. Really quick, I'm sorry, before you say that.
Uh-huh.
Have you like listened to any of the versions of Potty Mouth Elmo? If you want some uplifting, funny little videos that are really super short and,
Yeah.
and are really just hilarious, it's like it's not called Potty Mouth Elmo, but you might be able to find it that way. It's the yeah, Potty Mouth
Potty mouth
Elmo.
Elmo. I'll look it up. Yeah.
It's yeah, I saw there's more than one version, people doing the potty mouth Elmo. But yeah, it's like I literally have considered like getting myself an Elmo puppet and seeing if I can make some like if I can do some puppet venting. Because yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty funny. Something about I'll give you one example and I won't ruin it because it looks like there's like 50 videos out there of it, but he'll have it that he'll be, discussing like if one more, I can't do the Elmo voice. I actually probably can, but he was talking about one more person tells me to have a happy Monday, I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I didn't expect that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm sorry. I swore. I apologize.
Oh, that's no problem. That's no fucking problem at all.
Okay. Well, I will. I will try not to, but I guess I didn't consider that.
Well, nah,
So
fuck that. You're doing Elmo. That's cool.
okay.
No, that's a bit. It's well, it sounds like you're having a blasty blast in sobriety.
Well, because I'm talking to you, so you were there for me. I was very well into my stages of sobriety, but it was just this void where it was like everyone else was trying to keep me in my well, see, like, everybody kind of has their place. They decided, who they look up to, who they dismiss, who they blow off, or just that's, not all the accurate categories or anything. But, everyone's kind of got their routine. And then, and it was like, I'm like, I quit drinking and I had lost 65 pounds and I, beat my swim record and I had swam like 1.5 miles. And I was like, is it just me or is like nobody happy for me? And then, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like, people, I didn't get like a lot of positive feedback. And that was really surprising. And that I realized it seemed that people have a tendency to be resistant to changing others, even if you don't know them. And yeah, so I think drinking is such a touchy subject too, because so many people do it and it's legal.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the most deadly drug.
It is. Somebody told me that once too, and I was like, no. And then I listed off some like hardcore drugs, and he was like, no. He's like, I will tell you. And that's what he said. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that
it kills.
that's another
It kills more people
maxim.
yearly than all the drugs put together.
Oh, and it's a creeper. I
Yeah,
mean, everyone else is like, hey, you do crack, you're gonna get hooked, right? So that one's pretty clear, right? So stay away from crack. But everyone is just like, oh, so many people are like, I can handle my alcohol. It creeps up on you so slowly, and it takes that neurochemical hold on you.
yes, it
And it's
does. Yeah,
just,
the
yeah,
mental
oh,
obsession builds a mental
right,
obsession. You know what's really addicting? Nicotine. That is
right,
just, it took me so much to every time I quit it. And then you have quit it and you're physically pretty much in the clear, and months or even years would go by. And then I would smoke one cigarette in a parking lot, bum it, get it from somebody or something. And then I'm smoking for the next couple of years, or vaping. Nicotine is so addictive. I do. I want to talk about that too. I'll make that
Okay.
tomorrow's stream where quitting nicotine will leave, or anything for this matter. This is my suspicion, but especially nicotine, because I was vaping and I had the vape with me at all times, and it takes up so much time and energy, and that when you quit it, you now have all this time and energy that you have to do something with. And I'll talk about
remember,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember writing. I wasn't speaking to you. I was just writing into your stream. So I remember that too. That now actually I'm doing nicotine gum, and I kind of go back from 4 milligrams to 2 milligrams, but it's still nicotine. And it kind of does a number on my jaw. But I had looked back into the maybe you could do a little bit of research into the it's like nic something receptors, and it's like when you quit, all those receptors are open, kind of like the nicotine opens up a bunch of channels that are left open, and so when it creates that flux of that
The dopamine
anxiety.
and like receptors and like serotonin, dopamine, probably
Actually,
all that stuff. Because I'm thinking quitting nicotine is partially responsible for my pink cloud I've been on recently, and like everything is peachy and like rose-colored glasses, pink cloud I've been on, and I attribute it to just staying close to the program, taking the suggestions instead of taking hold of things and making my own way, because that's what historically has gotten me in the gutter before. So like all I've been doing is
you're not smoking at all.
Oh no, I don't do nicotine. It's been a month.
And that good for you.
Yeah, it might be responsible for my regulation of dopamine, like regulatory system. Yeah, partially responsible. I know all this stuff starts coming back in sobriety, which is essentially what I wanted to talk about. Is you make that leap of faith and you quit your drug of choice, and life is miserable for me it was like a year. This year has been fourth step city, all just revelations of the my character defects and what is standing in the way of me being useful to my fellows and stuff like that. It's been a rough year, but a month ago I did quit nicotine. It is it's something, because I think the dopamine starts to regulate and stuff. Well, Natalie, was it Natalie?
Yes.
Natalie, where'd you say? Minnesota? Somebody said, let's see where this comment, somebody said something about Minnesota. They went to rehab in Minnesota, I think. I saw a comment. Oh, yeah, here you go. I went to hospital for 9 days. Oh, no, that's not it. That was Jody. Jody, you still with us, Jody?
The one I know of, I did not participate, but it was Teen Challenge is in Minnesota, and I heard that they are fantastic.
Oh, yeah. This Mindsai says, went to detox treatment at Sober Halfway House, 5 months in Minnesota.
I'm Mindsai.
Minnesota.
Good job.
They gave me every opportunity to recover in Minnesota, he says.
Good job.
Good Jody, you're still here. Cool. This isn't an AA meeting, but it is similar to one in the fact that it's a bunch of addicts and alcoholics in recovery just talking it out with each other. And that is one of, I would say, Natalie, would you say that's one of the main, building blocks of lasting sobriety is fellowship with other people in recovery?
Certainly.
Yeah.
And then I'm in maintenance, so I'm in maintaining it. But I'm finding I'm still the challenges in life just generally are endless, and I'm being challenged. But this time I'm not having it's emotional regulation. So it has literally taken 9 years for my amygdala response to I'm not controlling it, but it's not being triggered as much. So when somebody says something that makes me, the topic is kind of unfamiliar, uncomfortable, I don't kind of get suddenly that feeling like I'm kind of like jumping around inside and I want to like take off to the nearest exit or, stop the conversation. So that's good.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I think you do great work. That's why I'm so excited. So if you have to let me go, at any time, or if you prefer to, I don't know how you can, I finally did some couple of YouTube videos, but it was more like collage stuff. I mean, it just amazes me that you're on there and able to interact for like an hour or two with your audience and just, continually generate, that information, helpful information, and then to kind of, bring your guests during the live stream and everyone kind of coordinate that so everyone feels like they're participating. And I just wrote in and I felt like I had a friend, so yeah.
You do.
I thank you. I really appreciate what you do. And I just light up whenever I see your name. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Sober James, So.
Well, good. I'm glad, Natalie. Is that what's your screen name for the chat box? So I can look out for it.
It is NSA as God. So I had some problems with some programmers, and just because that's kind of part of their bullying too, is to kind of get to monitor and access and kind of delete some of your mail and stuff, and kind of malicious sort of stuff. And so I thought, oh, this is great. You know what I mean? I like change my passwords or my screen name to like National Security Agency is lowercase GOD, right? And I'm like, let's see if they'll just continue to behave like that. It completely like, what's the word for it? Not ignoring, oblivious to like, well, there are some programmers out there and I don't think that you're really that good. And what they're doing is just being a big bunch of creepy turds, okay, big pieces of shit, and it's like, why don't, the National Security Agency, what do they do for a living, right? And it's like, I'm hoping that in an inadvertent way that they'll compare their skills and their intent, INTENT, their intent in what they're doing. And maybe, see, because that's how I feel about it. I'm like, okay, break into my account. National Security Agency is lowercase GOD, right? So I think it's just like, okay, it's like you're just asking to get caught doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
So.
Well, some people subconsciously want to get caught, I suppose.
I've never been in a situation where I've experienced that. So I try to stay out of trouble. The only trouble I've really been in is, maybe hurting someone's feelings or, getting drunk one night. And I did actually throw a shoe at somebody down the outdoor patio bar stairs, but I totally missed because I was drunk, right? And then we had to do like a covert off and drive back to get my shoe. And like, right. He's like, you can stay here, drunkie, and I'm going to go get your shoe. You know what I mean? And I still got out of the car, so, right. So I don't, I have a couple fun memories, but they're only fun now because, then I had to find some other place to hang out. So I didn't get kicked out. I didn't, get the cops called, but I wasn't going to show up and be, you know what I mean? Because I knew if I showed up, it might be like, totally cool, serve me my drink, and then be like, hey, you remember that other night when you threw a shoe at somebody on the patio down the stairs? He's like, if you do that again, we're going to have to like not serve you. Or they could have just decided to not serve me. Yeah. So I decided to not go in for like a year after that. So and I really liked going there. So that's an example of where I socially hurt my chances of, making me, or I hurt my reputation there, and I own it. I owe up to it. No, own it. Own my behavior.
Yeah, you own it.
Yeah, and then I really missed going there too. So then, like, my drinking got worse because there wasn't really any other place that I had established kind of the people that I talked to, but that was drinking though. So that's why because I completely stumbled across your sober. Like, I wasn't even thinking that I could find something like what you provide on YouTube. So I was just going through a History Channel and documentaries, and I was like, "What's this?" And so and then I started telling people generally, I'm like, "Did you know you can find like YouTube live streams and stuff, and all sorts of information on YouTube for quitting drinking and maintaining sobriety?" And I don't know if they ever looked into it or not, but that was kind of something that I would, take the time to promote if I could. So.
Yeah, with technology and everything, it's amazing. You can go to Zoom meetings now too, and the connection of addicts and alcoholics in recovery is one of the most important parts, like you said. And it makes me happy to hear that I can help and stuff, because that's part of our recovery too. We gain back self-esteem by doing esteemable things, like trying to help other addicts and alcoholics and talking to them on the live stream like we are right now.
Did I write to you about the new routine thing? I know I wrote that in there. Remember when I think I wrote something about like to quit smoking? One of the only ways I did it was to move my furniture around, because every time I sat in my morning chair, even if I just got coffee, I thought of a cigarette immediately. So I'm like, I moved my bedroom and my living room around 5 times at least. And it helped. It worked. It was not only something to do, but I was like messing with my own head on purpose. I'm like,
you have to. You got to play tricks on the trickster. Is what you got to do with your own head. You got to play tricks on it.
I started. I actually. They said it was therapeutic too. I didn't do this right away, and I don't know when I got to it, but I was then, after I changed my furniture around, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, how about my decorations? I'm like, all of these decorations are associated. And it's like, one thing that alcoholism does is it does stunt like your formation of new memories. I did I should say some pretty extensive research on that, like both neurochemically and then kind of bringing like all these different disciplines together. And I was like, you know what? That's it. I got to get some new decorations. And I love going to the thrift shop too. I love repainting stuff myself. And then I started like doing little house projects, and it did make a big difference. So, I had like this gloomy, I really loved my pine furniture. Okay. And it kind of had that classic look of like the bookshelf and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like the desk. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm like, it's starting to feel so old, and that cigarette smell. So then I started to, clean the furniture to refurbish it. And next thing you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, the cigarette smoke gets into everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, like I had no idea, or maybe just the furniture was old. But when I was cleaning it, I was like, I think it was just that gross yellow color that was bothering me.
Yeah, and that was all over the walls of my mom's house.
And I only spent like $10 per can of this I'm trying to remember the name of the paint. It's like this brand. Yeah, it was great. So, and then all of a sudden it brightened things up for me. So I think that even just your home environment, if you can't move, you can move the furniture around. And then, if you get sick, because it took me a while. Like I just sit there kind of feeling blank and empty. And, I was struggling to move, struggling to think something, what should I do about how I'm feeling? Because I don't have my go-to. And then that's when, I can say that I'm doing this or whatever. I don't know if I can tell somebody who's just quit recently. I don't know if the sort of activities or the sort of mindset that I'm describing could help them, if they've just quit drinking. But after so long of, just sitting there and still struggling with that, that's when I did realize just how powerful, like those certain pictures or just not that there's anything wrong with the picture itself. Like there wasn't any bad, memory of the person in any of these pictures.
It's triggering. It's triggering. Well, Natalie, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm about to wrap up the stream, and I see a comment I'd like to comment on. But thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Well, I will come back, most certainly. Thank you very much.
Keep going back. Thank you, Natalie. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
And bye-bye. Hey, Ryan. How's it going? Ryan, that sounds so familiar to me. That what you just typed there, and that's I'm sorry to hear that, brother. That was Natalie on the phone from Minnesota, sober and sharing with us experience. She sounds like she's on pink clouds or has been or has experienced a pink cloud as well. The pink cloud, rose-colored glasses, the promises come true. The promises, the ninth step promises. So thank you, Natalie. NSA is God. So to wrap things up, sobriety's tough sometimes, but the rewards, although they're not instant like drinking, we all know what happens after those rewards start disappearing. But although they're not instant, they're real and sustainable. So what are you doing now, Ryan? What's man, that sounds like a hell of a night, man. Waking up naked. And Jody, I'm glad, I'm happy for you too, being here instead of in your head. Thank you for being here for me, so I'm not in my head at the current moment. I sometimes wonder about how to not get in my head about certain things and problems, and that's when you give it to God. When the going gets rough, you give it to God. Don't mess with it. I'm not equipped for rough goings. They say when the going gets rough, the rough gets going. When the going just gets tough, the tough get going. Well, yeah, that could be true, but I'm not that tough when it comes to certain rough goings. Tivana, yes, one day at a time, brother. Thanks for participating. Glenn M. and Natalie and Jody, get some sleep, get some rest, Jody. You're doing the next right thing, and I understand, and I'm sure everyone within typing and hearing distance and sight knows that it is difficult, and what you're doing is the right thing. You're exercising character over comfort, and you deserve some rest. And good on you for detoxing. That's not an easy decision to make. All right, we're going to say goodnight, and I will see you tomorrow on the One Day at a Time Sober James Addiction Recovery live stream podcast. And until then, keep it clean, keep it real, and keep doing the damn thing. Peace.